Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use.
From horriblyofftopic.com. No, from clarkwards.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 114. 114 episodes with me, Chris.
And I, Steve.
I, Steve.
No, I, Steve.
I, Steve. Like I, Robot.
No,
not at all.
We had this. I just had to shut our door because there was this bird outside that was making the most god awful noise.
It was a birdabot.
What?
A birdabot. It's like that.
You just had a sip.
I had a sip of my dark and stormy. A birdabot, like a Dinobot, except a bird.
I don't remember Dinobots.
What?
Oh, the Dinobots from the Transformers.
From the Transformers,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah, those were shitty.
Slag, man. Actually, wait, was it Slag or was it Spike or was it no? Spike was one of the.
This is a sure way to get Leo to email us.
Yeah. No, Slag was. I can't remember. Yo Dingus. Let me find out. Yo Dingus. What were the names of the Dinobots?
Get dancing, 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 dancing. Here, I'll play. Hold on.
All right, because we paused in the middle there, that means still fair use, right?
Right. I don't know how many seconds can we play of it?
Dinobot. The Dinobot. That doesn't make it. Dinobots, it should be plural, are a type of character in the fictional Transformers universe. The Dinobots group consists of several subgroups of robots, each of whose transformed mode is that of a dinosaur or similar prehistoric animal. Generation 1 Dinobots consisted of Grimlock, Slag, Sludge, Snarl, and Swoop. Now, I cannot...
Was Swoop like a pterodactyl?
Yes, it was a Pteranodon.
Pteranodon.
Snarl was a Stegosaurus. I had that one, I think. No, wait. No, I don't have that one. Sludge was an Apatosaurus. And Slag was the Triceratops. Of course, Triceratops was my favorite dinosaur, and so I had and have still in a tote up in my my attic a Slag.
Wow, cool.
Slag.
That's probably worth some money,
yeah.
Maybe.
And eventually, I think the Dinobots became Birdobots, as Jurassic Park taught us.
Yes, because birds are basically dinosaurs.
Yes. That's
they
what
have
we've been
about
told.
the intelligence level of them.
That's what Dr. Alan Grant told us.
Well, again, we're just inviting Leo to email us and tell us that we're wrong. What he's probably going to agree with us to a certain point, and then
he can't
and
disagree
then
that Dr. Alan Grant told us that birds were descended.
Yeah,
from.
no, he probably won't disagree with us on that point. But
so, yeah.
Eventually, we're going to say something that's like roundly wrong, and he's going to be like, "You guys are fucking dumb. I need to come on that show and tell you how stupid you are."
He's usually more polite about it than that. I mean, the gist of it, the subtext, as it were, is usually, you guys are fucking dumb. But that never generally comes right out and is said. Subtext.
Doop-dop, 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 day. I was watching The Simpsons recently, and there was the episode, it was season 12, going to Praise Land.
Okay.
And Ned finds an old sketchbook of his deceased wife, and he found that she wanted to open a religious amusement park, and so they with Homer's help they do it, and then like there's a statue of Maud, and then everybody keeps on having like visions of heaven while they're near it.
Oh,
but it turns out it was just a gas leak.
Oh, fucking that's sad. That's sad.
And Disco Stew goes up and he gets his version of heaven. It's like he gets there and there's like a bunch of people waiting in line to get in, and he pulls up in like a cloud limo or something like that.
Oh, it cuts the line.
Yeah, and he doesn't like they're like right this way, Mr. Stew or whatever, and then like he goes right in, and then like Travolta and some like other people that are waiting in line can't go in.
Still wait. Travolta's still waiting, right? Travolta's going to be waiting to the end of fucking time because he's a Scientologist.
Yeah, he's not going to get in.
He's not getting in.
At least
like,
not.
Sorry, Jesus. I don't really believe in Thetans and all that bullshit. No.
Doop-dop, 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 day, doop-dop. I imagine, like, you were talking about...
There'll be a lot of us waiting in line when President Trump starts dropping the bombs.
Stop it. There's... you had mentioned before we started recording Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Which I guess is a spin-off of, what was the one last year?
Well, it's Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. He was a character.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't know. I didn't see Daredevil, so
he has not been in Daredevil, but those are all. It's all connected.
Okay.
He's a spin-off of Rosario Dawson.
Oh, neato.
Yeah.
So that you said that that sort of broke.
Apparently, so yesterday it came out on Friday.
Well, we ended up watching the Amanda Knox documentary, which I think might have contributed as well.
Oh, was that also out just like
I think within the last couple of days.
Okay, that would make sense.
So if both of those things dropped at about the same time,
it broke the Netflix.
Yeah, and it proves that people because we watched Making a Murderer. You did, I did, but people love a true crime story.
They do,
and it's just
everyone listened to fucking Serial. That's how podcasts became a thing again. Yeah,
again, you mean they weren't a thing like?
No, I mean that's the the podcasts have been the next big thing like 2 or 3 times.
They're still not the big thing. People
they are when
it's like pulling teeth trying to get people to actually listen to this one.
Listen to something?
No, it's just like I try I'm like, oh yeah, you can listen to this.
Is it on YouTube?
No, what the fuck? Do you have a phone? There's an app, on the phone, you can just hit subscribe and it'll automatically download. Jesus fucking Christ. You can set it so it only automatically downloads when you're in Wi-Fi, so you're not using your fucking precious data. Jesus fucking Christ.
Brent Spiner was precious, wasn't he?
What?
Precious data.
Oh. I hate you.
I saw a trailer for Independence Day Resurgence, which on iTunes, on the Apple TV, I could buy a 2-pack, Independence Day and Independence Day Resurgence for $19.99. That is the price of a new movie on iTunes. So essentially, I think Independence Day Resurgence is $14.99. If you're willing to pay $19.99, you can get the better movie and then kind of imagine that.
Or you could just have HBO and watch the original,
yes,
and not watch the new one.
But he's in I saw him in the trailer. He's saying some bullshit.
He's in the new one. Yep.
He's fucking dead.
He has a major role in it.
He's dead.
Well, you'll have to watch it and see, Chris.
I don't have to watch it. You can't force me.
I won't. But if you want to know the status of I forget the name of the fucking character.
Judd Hirsch. I want to know Judd Hirsch's status.
He's definitely alive.
I would like to be spooned by Judd Hirsch. I'm just saying.
Hold on. What?
So in the news, no, just
no. But we watched the Amanda Knox thing, and the thing is, I was not super familiar with the story.
I know the name, but I don't know anything about it.
All right, so
I mean, once you start telling me, I'll probably remember. But I don't.
She was a student, exchange student, living in Italy.
Okay.
Her roommate got murdered.
Okay.
And the police basically, she was at her boyfriend's house the night that it happened, the entire night. They were basically each other's alibis. And then, the police just got them both into rooms and basically coerced confessions out of them that were not true.
Okay. And
basically they were in jail for forever. And then it comes out there's circumstantial evidence that they were involved. And then there were there's teeny amounts of DNA evidence on the murder weapon, or no, sorry, not the murder weapon, a knife that could have been the murder weapon. And a bra clasp from there's a teeny bit of his DNA on a bra clasp.
That's a great
of the victim.
That's a great punk band, Bra Clasp.
Yeah.
I love their second album.
Or no, their whole title of the
after that.
No, it was the band name is DNA Evidence on a Bra Clasp.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
I was looking up the wrong one. Yeah. I was looking up Bra Clasp, which is, an inferior band.
Yes, definitely. So, so there was that, and then there was a committee that went in to look at the how they were testing those particular items for DNA evidence, and there was they found that there was incredibly high probability of cross-contamination.
I wonder why. They were roommates.
No, right? No. I'm not saying about because they found because like the knife that they found was in his apartment.
Okay.
So
Got it.
the cross contamination happened when they were testing the stuff, because they were testing like 6 of her things and the one knife at the same time, and then for some unknown reason there's her DNA on the knife, like an insignificant amount.
Yeah.
Like there's no blood, there's no
blood,
like this. It's
no
just
urine, no feces.
Yeah, and then they get they get a bunch of DNA from another guy that has skipped the country.
Yeah,
and he was like a guy that was known locally as a guy that was into breaking and entering and stealing stuff. So he took a dump in their toilet. His feces were in the toilet.
It's just a second ago. It's like, why did I bring up feces? And now apparently feces was
and so like there's just like so many things that are pointing to this other guy. Yeah. Like, but there's hardly anything pointing to these other two. But they still like the head detective was like, oh, he had this like crazy hard on for like this thing where like the two. Like her and her boyfriend coerced this other guy that broke in apparently into raping the roommate, and then the Amanda Knox killed her like afterwards because it's a weird crazy sex game that was going on.
There's always going to be a coerced rape in these things.
And it's like what like how is that
was making a murderer? There was that was what they tried to get Brendan to.
Yeah, and like,
Sorry. So it feels like that's a thing that these investigators want it to be even more salacious than it might already be.
But the most logical explanation is usually the most.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
Occam's Razor,
even
also a good punk band,
or Frankie's Laser.
Frankie's Laser.
Yeah, that's not a reference or anything.
No. All right.
So, but the thing is, like, even the guy that was the B&E guy, like, there's a good chance that maybe he broke in at the exact wrong time while she was getting, and raped and or murdered.
Right.
And so basically he might have been like, oh, fuck. And then he just like booked it out of there and then was like, they're going to think it's me. And he split the country.
Right. He's just trying to keep himself alive.
Keep himself alive.
Keep himself alive.
But the thing is, like, it's just fucking bonkers, like, and then like it became an international thing because like the woman that was murdered was English, and then like it happened in Italy, and then like Amanda Knox is American, and it's just and then I think there was a thing where Obama wanted to like wanted to get involved to be like, get this person home.
Right.
They should not be in this jail for this crime.
Yeah.
And so like, lawyers and people in the justice system here in the United States were criticizing the way they did things in Italy. But then again, if you look at the fucking way making the murderer was handled, maybe you should,
he who
cast stones should not live in glass houses.
Yes, or White Houses.
White Houses.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I sort of this is basically my paraphrasing of the documentary, and which was a paraphrasing of what actually happened.
Right.
So watch the documentary. It deals with everything I just said, and if you were following the story at the time, then you might actually know more than I do.
Might. Keyword. Might.
But then again, I only know what the documentary filmmakers have said to me, and not the other story. But they talked to, like they tried to remain as objective as possible.
Yeah.
There was this one guy that was a journalist from Great Britain, and their tabloids are fucking.
I have heard.
Insane in comparison to ours. I think they will publish anything. And he's just basically talking about journalism and everything he says. It just seemed like, did you go to journalism school? Like, it didn't seem like
it.
He's just like, I'm just gonna make up things that. Oh wait, no, he doesn't make up anything. He hears things that people have said and then publishes it.
Prints them, yeah.
But the thing is, like, there needs to be some sort of, journalistic integrity, right?
One would hope.
And, like, we're just a couple of assholes.
Yes.
But we try to get things right.
Dumb assholes. Nah, shit. I should just cut that part out and get the clip back in there.
Yeah, well, if you want to go and do
It's a lot
extra
of
work
for
tonight.
me.
You dumb asshole!
But yeah, I mean, like, but the thing is, like, when we talk about something, we try to be as objective as possible, and we try to have, like, legitimate sources that we're talking about.
Yes.
And that's like, what the fuck did I watch and or read that was saying that newspapers, like, kind of going away,
Right.
is bad in the sense that that places that newspapers are what people reference when they talk about something.
Right.
Oh, it was on John Oliver. He was just basically talking about like how, like, since all these news organizations are going away, or like they're drastically defunded. Well, not defunded. It's just that people aren't fucking buying newspapers anymore.
People don't pay for things.
It's the organizations that were doing great research and making sure that things were right don't have the money to do that anymore.
Right.
And because of the fact that you need to be an organization that gets like web clicks or whatever, so publishing a story about Kim Kardashian's asshole is gonna trend better than somebody locked up abroad that
Somebody did lock up a broad, although I wouldn't refer to her as a broad.
I think you're sexist.
Yeah, a little bit there with that dumbass comment.
Right.
Hey, Robin, what's in the news? No, I'm just kidding.
That's my line.
That's well. Speaking of having things sourced, like everything we might potentially talk about today, I had I had an article up just in case. A farticle up. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that happened this week, Steve. I don't know if you're aware. There's a lot of
okay,
things.
Well, let's touch on some of those things.
So there was a debate. There was a presidential debate. I don't know if you heard.
Yes.
And Us Weekly has 6 WTF moments from that debate, which I recall all of them very clearly. Not at all.
No.
Because I didn't watch it because it gives me palpitations. Gives me little tremors.
Was it last Monday that it was on?
It was this article is dated. Monday, September 26th.
Okay, because
so it came out later in the day after our show came out.
We watched Gotham. And then because the debate was on every channel.
Yeah.
And
I think one channel would suffice.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just one of those things that is up for grabs if networks want it.
Right. Yeah. And they all want you to stay tuned for their trio of ass clowns to analyze it afterwards.
Yes.
To talk about how Hillary was over prepared or whatnot.
I like what they're doing on South Park this season with the election. It's instead of Donald Trump, it's Mr. Garrison, and he's just got this bad orange spray tan. But he's gotten to the point where he doesn't want to be president anymore.
Yeah,
and he's just like telling everybody, "Stop, don't vote for me. I'm the worst thing that will happen. I'm so completely unprepared to be president." And then, during the debate, Hillary says, "My opponent is a liar, and everything he tells is a falsehood," and da 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 da. That's what her advisors tell her to do. And so it's just like, God damn it! I just want to lose this election.
What did you hear about the debate?
All I heard was that Donald Trump was sniffing a lot from both the Oswald brothers.
Yes, I saw that. That's how I was paying attention too. Was I was looking at Twitter.
No, well, we watched Gotham, and then it was on Fox, and so we were the debate started or was going to start, and I'm like, I just turned it. I put on the guide button, and the stations that were nearby were Spanish channels, so I'm like, I'll just put it on Telemundo. The thing is, Becky can understand Spanish better than I can, and so she was understanding what the commentators were saying, and so I was just completely oblivious, playing games on my phone.
Right.
Just
making Becky sit there and listen
to like Telemundo commentators talk about the presidential election.
I don't know if that's cruel and unusual punishment or just unusual punishment.
I don't know. We didn't do it for very long because it was just got annoying after a while.
Right.
Because I couldn't understand a word. She could sort of understand what they were saying, and it was just like. And then the debate started, and then what was it? Shepard Smith was the person that was
No, it was Lester Holt.
Lester Holt
From NBC.
NBC.
WNBC.
You keep on bringing up Stern, huh?
WNBC.
Stop it. It sounds like I'm saying it right.
The first time I ever saw anything with oh my gosh, who plays
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, with Paul Giamatti in it. That started my love affair with Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, I like it when he's in things like that.
Yeah.
He's like really good in that role of like Pig Vomit, or
Yeah.
I think in like the original they called him Pig Virus or something like that.
Oh, okay.
In the real life version
okay.
of that, but I think he just renamed it for the film or the book. I'm not sure.
Right. I generally like him better. I like him all the time. What the fuck am I talking about? I was about to be like.
What about him as John Adams?
I like him as John Adams. I really like him as the character in Sideways. I like him in that.
I only saw that once, and I was not. I don't know. I think I might have been too young for that movie.
It's not the best movie. You have to be in the right mood.
I don't know what kind of mood I was in, but I remember like.
I'm also a sucker for movies about writers, so like that's why it gets me.
Well, it was. I think we rented that on VHS to show you the time and place for when I watched that.
Yeah.
So it was a long time
It's
ago.
a long.
So maybe I'll give it another watch
long
sometime.
Yeah, it's all right. It's got its.
Should I get Sideways?
Should you get Sideways? I don't know.
What the fuck were we talking? Oh, debate.
The debate. Your debate. Yes. So I'm trying to look through these Us Weekly WTF moments. Number one was
Number one.
Fred Trump was a generous man. Early on in the debate,
Fred Trump was a generous man.
Turns out that Trump's late father Fred's very small loan was actually, as Clinton said, $14 million, a value of $31 million in modern day currency. So there was some debate about that. Number two was is Trump confused about Clinton's age? While Clinton discussed her plan to defeat ISIS, Trump, who has yet to explain a strategy of his own, leading many to believe he doesn't have one, interjected.
Really? You think this guy, the blowhard, the fucking like the guy that just says that he's awesome, doesn't have a fucking plan?
They're trying to be fair and balanced.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. We're not fair and balanced. If you weren't sure about that.
Fair and balanced.
Fair and balanced. I'm fucking drinking a drink.
Trump interjected, saying, "See, you're telling the enemy everything you want to do. No wonder you've been fighting ISIS your entire adult life." Laughing, Clinton invited fact checkers to get to work on her opponent's ignorant claim. Fact check: ISIS was established in 1999, but did not rise to global prominence until 2013, when the Democratic presidential candidate was already in her mid-60s, making it simply impossible for Clinton to have battled the militant group her entire adult life.
I mean, we've been adults for as long as ISIS has been around.
Yeah.
And we're considerably younger than Hillary Clinton.
This is true. We should be.
Just think about that the next time you get older.
Yes.
You're much less old than
I will be getting older in just 3 days, Steve, or 2 days when people hear this.
Oh, fuck.
Trumped up, trickled down. It was number 3. As the former Secretary of State debated Trump's plan for the economy, she coined a new term, quote, trumped up, trickled down economics, a nod to the political term trickle down economics, which characterizes policies that favor the wealthy. All right.
Well, if you think about it, if you reduce the tax burden on the people that are making or that are job creators, that'll entice them to make more jobs instead of just keeping the money for themselves,
Right.
and giving it to investors.
Number 5.
Number 5.
I'm skipping number 4.
What was number 4?
Number 4 was Trump revives braggadocious, where he said he didn't intend to sound braggadocious. The odd word choice immediately sent viewers to Google, which later noted that searches for braggadocious spiked during the debate. Merriam-Webster called out Trump via Twitter, writing, "He was trying for braggadocio." Braggadocio refers to boastful behavior, while braggadocious is a dated and informal term. I was going to skip that, but you asked me.
I don't want you to skip. People are going to be like, what happened to number 4?
All right, number 5.
Number 5.
Trump body shames hackers. When Clinton mentioned the Democratic National Committee server hack that happened earlier this year, she blamed Russia, citing the high confidence of FBI officials. Trump replied, "She's saying Russia, Russia, Russia. but I don't. Maybe it was. I mean, it could be Russia, but it could also be China. It could also be lots of other people. It could be somebody sitting on their bed that weighs 400 pounds. You don't know who broke into DNC. Several celebrities promptly took to Twitter to discuss the controversial comment. Quote,
Wait, well, I don't understand. Like, see, as much as I hate Trump, he's just giving a possibility, and it could be somebody that weighs 400 pounds. Like,
why would you do that though? When probably a lot of people that
he's a dumbass.
A lot of people that support him are probably 400 pounds and sitting in their basement with Fox News as their only fucking source of news.
But the kind of people that have the sort of brains
and white dudes,
the brains that are required to be a hacker, I think.
Right.
If you have that level of intelligence, I don't think you would be foolish enough to be a Trump supporter.
Right.
But I may be wrong. If you are an internet hacker and you support Trump, send us an email and tell me why, because I'd love to fucking know.
Yeah. Several celebrities promptly took to Twitter to discuss the controversial comment. OMG, did he just weight shame? What WTF, Leslie Jones tweeted, while Lin-Manuel Miranda posted a gif of Angelina Jolie in the 1995 film Hackers. I don't know if I like these
Acid burn
at Us Weekly, because I think Hackers is widely known as not a very accurate or good film.
No, it's a great film.
As I recall. Number 6.
Hack the planet.
Trump snubs moderator Lester Holt. After the 90-minute debate officially
Number
ended,
6.
Clinton walked over to moderator Lester Holt to shake his hand. Trump, on the other hand, sauntered in the other direction toward his wife, Melania Trump, and the rest of his family, prompting Holt to awkwardly sit back down while scratching the back of his neck. The GOP candidate did eventually come back to shake the NBC Nightly News anchor's hand after briefly chatting with his wife. I don't know if those were WTF moments, but it was the article that I pulled up.
WTF, Us Weekly.
WTF. I think
this is what passes for journalism
apparently
on a magazine or the website of a magazine in our country.
Right.
At least in Great Britain, it's salacious.
Yeah. They're liable to send people to Paris and track them down until they die in car crashes and tunnels.
Right. And they're liable to commit libel. Oh wait, no.
Title.
Wait, which one's libel? Is that the written one?
I don't know, but liable to commit libel.
I gotta look it up.
Libel.
Slander, I think
slander
is spoken.
Yeah, I can't.
But if it's written, I think it's libel.
Liable to commit libel. All right. Well, while you look that up, I should say that what I think was actually a WTF moment was Donald Trump inviting people to check out the supposed porn video of Miss Universe when he himself has appeared in a softcore porno.
A published false statement. So I was right.
All right.
So it liable to commit libel. That's a good one. What are we doing?
I was saying what I think is an actual WTF moment. This news article that I'm going to quote from is from the New York Daily News. With the headline, Donald Trump appears in unearthed 2000 Playboy porn video.
Okay, so as much as you you were a former subscriber to Playboy magazine.
Yes, former.
Do they still exist?
They do. They don't show boobies anymore.
What?
Yep. As like a year or so ago, they stopped nudes.
Did they still have attractive ladies in bikinis or something?
I don't know.
What's the point of...
I don't know if it's more like Maxim, where like there's the suggestion of nudity, but the actual like areola and the
areola, amylola,
the actual like areola and butt crack and pubic hair is all covered up now.
Well, they never had pubic. I don't think they usually had
some of them
hair.
have like a landing strip, like so like that part all.
Or they tried to cover that area up in Playboy.
Yeah.
But okay, so like
so I don't think Playboy had no more nudes.
But even back in the day, like it was basically a nude woman and. Mm-hmm. And not risque poses. She wasn't spread eagle, spreading her vagina lips open and just saying, "Check out the inside of me."
No,
that's also a good one.
You get me choices here. I don't like having choices. Yes, but Did you ever watch any of the Playboy videos?
Yeah, I think I remember this kid. Do you remember him?
Should we say his name?
No, whatever.
All right.
I don't think.
Mike, yeah? Mike.
Mike, if you want to beep it, give
what
yourself
day is
extra work.
What day is it, Mike?
So this kid, I remember him having Night Trap, and us.
Oh yes,
and us playing because which if you're interested in the history of video games, was one of the two games that was basically essential to the creation of the ESRB. That and Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Dun 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 dun. No, sorry.
So yeah, like Night Trap, I don't understand like I've played the game and it does not seem as bad as any film I've ever seen in my life.
No.
And so basically, if there was porno games prior to there was porno games for Atari, and I imagine there was plenty for the PC or whatever.
Yeah, none for the Intellivision.
Yeah, no. Well, no, but I think you could play certain Atari carts on the Intellivision, but Custer's Revenge and Beat 'em and Eat 'em and all that. Watch the Angry Video Game Nerd on Atari porn games.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Right.
But yeah, there's been those games before, and that's why Nintendo had certain lockout chips that you couldn't make unlicensed games.
Right.
So shit like that wasn't getting into the hands of kids.
Right.
Which is good that they're not watching a naked General Custer rape an Indian who's tied to a cactus.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's not good that children are doing that. And it's playing that when you're fucking her.
All right, so what's your point?
Well, I don't know what my point is. What the fuck was it?
I think you were about to say something about Playboy and Playboy not being...
And so I watched... we watched this video, this Playboy video at my house back in probably freshman year, maybe sophomore year or something like that. Yeah. And whatever. It was just naked ladies. It was basically, you ever see Mondo Topless? It was one of those Russ Myers exploitation movies, which is just, a bunch of women just dancing around topless and then talking about, oh, I love doing the topless. And it was a crazy, sexy thing back in 1960 something. And it was basically like that. And it as far as a stag movie or something, it's not something that it's something that could get the fervor of a young man 20 years ago.
Right. But not today when YouPorn and Pornhub and RedTube and any various combination of those is right at the
There's one called X Hamster. I don't know why. It has a little picture of a hamster on it.
That's for Warren Beatty.
Oh.
Or, I thought it was... wait. Who's that?
Allegedly.
It's my relative. What's his name?
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
Allegedly.
Right. Yeah, Richard Gere. I'm related to that guy.
Well, couple
of generations removed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my point was, so I agree with.
What I'm saying, I don't like. Okay, let me just go back to what my actual point is. Is that
right.
Naked ladies just are being topless, maybe in bikini bottoms or whatever.
Right.
I don't consider that pornography.
Okay. Not even soft core porn.
No, I don't like from what they do on those Playboy videos. It's not like they were having pretend sex. It was just them being nude.
Okay.
And just being like, ooh, I'm stretching get my back
arching
my back so I get my boobs out a little bit more, and then maybe playing mini golf or doing weird things nude. They would.
You're right. They probably was one of them playing mini golf.
Just they'd be like, oh, I'm naked doing a weird thing, or I'm just laying on a couch and talking about what turns me on, or blah blah blah. That's not pornography. That is just a nude woman talking.
Playboy was always more about always more an outstretch of sort of pinup culture, of pinup art. Than it ever was something like Penthouse, which was obviously it was trying to and Hustler even more so, which was about bringing porn to the printed page. What I was my kind of counterpoint or devil's advocate point here is I had in my cardboard box of filth a CD-ROM, a video CD-ROM of Jenny McCarthy. That came
From her
out
Playboy?
From her Playboy days. It was like the best of her Playboy videos.
Oh.
And I think it would mostly fit into what you were talking about. She's mostly dancing around topless, kind of,
trying to be funny, but kind of failing.
No, there was no...
Like the things she would do when she wasn't nude.
Mostly that, and she would... but there was at least one scene where she was in a bathtub that was vaguely... erotic. That might have been the suggestion. It's been a long time since I've seen it. The suggestion of masturbation or something like that in there. Now, would you consider that softcore pornography? If there's the intimation of lady bits being touched.
But the thing is, like,
no. Okay. All right.
I don't know. Like, I'd have to watch it.
Yeah. So you've researched.
I don't know pornography, but I know what I like.
But so I agree that I think the mainstream media is kind of reaching here, but I still think this article is that this controversy was interesting. So because it raises his hypocrisy to some extent.
Yeah, he is a fucking hypocrite. But the thing is, if he was in like the opening of like something, or maybe like he's just standing nearby while like there's like cocks going into assholes, then maybe I could understand. But if he's just opening up with like Hef, like they're both like well Hef used to be a millionaire. I don't know, is he still alive?
Hef, I think Hef is still alive.
Jesus fucking Christ, that guy, like
the secret
he's
to
surviving
life
on
is a lot of fucking.
That and penicillin.
That dark story almost came out of my nose.
Good.
So anyway, I thought it would be worth exploring. This is from the New York Daily News. I thought this was a well-written piece of tabloid fun. Turns out he's the one with the sex tape. Donald Trump popped his cork in a softcore Playboy porn video unearthed just hours after he resumed his attack on a former Miss Universe, this time with charges she had performed sex on camera. Before you go ew at the notion of Trump and porn in the same sentence, know the cork he popped came out of an actual champagne bottle holding bubbly he poured over a Playboy logo during a benign segment of a 2000 video of a national
2000? What the fuck?
Of a national Playboy Playmate tour that featured a stop in New York. The Playmate stops included Las Vegas, Chicago, Nashville, and San Diego. When the tour hits New York, the video features all the city's landmarks, the Statue of Liberty, the Twin Towers, and Donald Trump. A fully clothed and cuff-linked Trump welcomes the women with a bottle of bubbly, which he opens and pours on a Playboy-branded limo. Beauty is beauty, and let's see what happens with New York, the smarmy Trump says. The video was obtained by BuzzFeed.com. Other scenes from the film feature nude women who dance and pose in sexual positions. The naked women touch themselves and each other, sometimes with honey or while taking sensual baths.
Oh, with honey.
With honey.
Sometimes with honey. Did they have one of those little things, the honey dippy thing that looks like a honeycomb?
Do you think Meg Wagner was having a hell of a time writing this? She was just like, she's like, how do I make this sound
salacious, even though it's not?
Yeah. Let's see.
Sometimes with honey.
Sometimes with honey.
Who touches people with honey? You're just gonna get sticky.
The VHS cover.
It's not a good lubricant. I've tried. No.
The VHS cover of the video reads, "From luxurious."
It's the time I fucked Pooh Bear. Oh bother.
So many titles.
We can't put the time I fucked Pooh Bear as the title.
No, but Sometimes with Honey was also good. All right. The film also reveals, oh my goodness, I did not even get to this part yet. The film also reveals Trump has a soft side for immigrants.
What?
Darlene and her twin sister Carol have led extraordinary lives, says a page from the Playboy.com bios of the video's sibling stars. From the jungles of Peru to the beaches of Miami to the pages of Playboy, they've overcome poverty, isolation, terrorism, language barriers, and physical calamity to become our first playmates of the new millennium. Hours before the video resurfaced, Trump launched a Twitter tirade against former beauty queen Alicia Machado, who endorsed Hillary Clinton after saying Trump shamed her for gaining weight after her 1996 Miss Universe triumph. Trump, trying to discredit the curvy critic, suggested Machado had a sex tape, a likely reference to a grainy night vision video of her having sex while appearing on a reality show. Trump is the Republican...
Who's Trump?
That she has to say this is, I mean, it's so far down, but I wonder if this is like, is this why newspapers don't sell us? Because they make their reporters state the fucking obvious in their... Trump is the Republican presidential nominee and is, here's the rest of the sentence. Trump is the Republican presidential nominee and his party's platform calls porn, quote, a public health crisis. So that's why it's relevant.
Okay.
Anyway,
but again, I'm going back to the fact that even though they're putting honey on each other, I don't think it's porn.
You don't think that? What if they had Pooh Bear nearby?
Maybe if Piglet was there.
Oh my goodness! All right,
that's basically what he's calling this lady.
All right, so
although Piglet was really small.
Piglet was really small.
He was a tiny little guy.
Yeah. I mean. You think if Piglet and Pooh are together, who's the top? Who's the bottom?
Well, like Pooh's got to be the top.
You think so? I mean, what if he defies type and he just lets Piglet have at him? No.
Maybe he likes to. Maybe he's versatile. Who knows?
Yeah. He'd go either way.
What about Eeyore? What do you think about him?
I think Eeyore. Is strictly all about himself. I mean, I think that tail. I think the closest Eeyore gets to sex is when somebody pins the tail back on that donkey. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Also in the news.
Oh God.
Also in the news.
How much news do we have this week?
We had two other things. We don't have to talk about those things. We could talk more about Donald Trump. Would you like
I don't want to talk more about Donald Trump at all.
About
no.
The president-elect?
What else? Fuck you.
Can't wait till I'm proven right. This is
why do you want that?
I don't want that. I have never wanted that, but it has never been more clear to me that this man is going to be our next president.
It's just insane. Like I can understand like conservatives wanting to vote for like Gary Johnson and Bill Weld. I can understand that.
I heard Bill Weld actually came. I did not source this. I heard Bill Weld actually came out and said that he couldn't imagine somebody more qualified to be president than Hillary Clinton.
Bill Weld said
Bill
that.
Weld apparently said that.
The vice presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyway.
Could you shoot your candidate in the foot more there, Billy?
You understand why conservatives want to vote for Johnson and Weld. Okay.
I can understand that, but like Trump is just like blah.
Yeah.
He speaks from his heart, whatever.
Yeah, he says he's...
You know what would be great? To get somebody who speaks from their heart and also isn't a fucking asshole.
Whose heart is not a fucking asshole that's been transplanted into his... Transplanted into his chest.
All right.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe it's just the defeatist or the pessimist in me, but or maybe it's the amount of conservative relatives I have who hate Hillary Clinton with a fiery passion, with the fire of 1,000 suns. But
vote for Gary Johnson. Don't vote for fucking Trump. I'm sorry. Like if you are like conservative, like and you.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because my relatives live in Massachusetts. It's the
well, who knows that like there's like crazy fucking fucks like west of UMass Amherst. There's a lot of fucking uh-ohs out there.
Yeah.
Like when we went to fucking Springfield to see that goddamn John Valby show. We were like, we're not amongst friendlies.
No. Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I look at the 538 or I look at it when people tweet or Facebook links to it, and it just doesn't seem promising. It is the chance of this man becoming president is still way too high for me to be comfortable. I mean,
well, the thing is, like the Democrats just could not have picked a worse person.
No,
I mean, don't people need to remember I'm not being anti-women here.
Yeah.
If it was Elizabeth Warren, I'd be 100% behind her.
Yeah.
Fuck. Although your relatives would probably be
even
more angry.
Yeah, no, my dad actively hates Elizabeth Warren, whereas he just thinks, what was his words earlier in the year, that he doesn't think Hillary has done enough to distance herself from the president, which presupposes that everybody hates the president.
Which actually, like recent polls that have come out that say that I think 60-something% of the United States supports the president.
Yeah.
Which,
well, not if you listen to Fox News and hang out at the American Legion.
Oh, okay. Which is I think a polar opposite of what like George W. Bush's was when he left office.
Yeah, no, it's a bit, but
I think his was like at a certain point like somewhere in the teens as far as the approval rating. And I'm like, how did he get reelected? I'm like, was John Kerry that like
swift boat?
Oh god damn it. These fucking super PACs, like
they find one fucking thing, and that like we can look back with usually a 2-syllable response into what shit canned any particular candidate. Like not John Dean, Howard Dean. Howard Dean. You are. Yeah, that's it.
But he could have been the like if he didn't do well. I don't know. I would have voted for Howard Dean, like but I would have anyways. But
right.
The thing is like. I liked him as a candidate, and then I don't know. I think the way the media, and I hate bringing up the media as the reason why things go bad.
Right.
But I think the media running with that, kind of fucked him.
Yeah. And should we talk about something else?
Yes.
All right. There are 2 other news articles, but there's one thing we held over from last week, which is actually a story about something that one of us actually did. So we could talk about news, or we could talk about this other thing, or we could try to cram all 3 things into the next.
I don't want to give my new commuting style
short shrift.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Although I didn't
13 minutes or so. I don't know. Just 13 minutes.
Let's just talk about. Let's just make this one of those news shows.
Okay. Wonder Woman.
Oh God, I forgot about this one.
Wonder Woman is bisexual, and it's NBD according to Mashable. Let me just add, all right.
What NBD?
No big deal.
It shouldn't be a big deal.
Why, in your estimation, should it not be a big deal?
Well, who gives a shit? Like, what the fuck?
It's a comic book character.
It's a fictional character. Who gives a shit? Like their sexual proclivities. Like, how often are these comic book characters having sex?
I don't know. More often than the people who read the comic books.
Oh, you are against nerd culture. You're gonna get Gamergate after us.
Fuck yes, I'm against nerd culture, and fuck Gamergaters up their stupid fucking Gamergate.
No, but I don't want them after our show. You know, right. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they won't be after our show because there are no women on our show.
Yeah, they can call us fat and stupid, and
they might.
Yeah.
If you've been reading Greg Rucka's current run on DC Comics Wonder Woman, this is old news, but for everyone whose familiarity with the 75-year-old heroine is limited to Gal Gadot or Linda Carter, the comic book writer has confirmed what many suspected for a while. Wonder Woman, a.k.a. Princess Diana of Themyscira, a.k.a. also a.k.a. Diana Prince, is bisexual, and it's kind of a no-brainer. It is kind of a no-brainer because she grew up on an island full of women, and if you believe, stupid asshole in front of your computer who does nothing but read comics, if you believe that women existing in an entirely female society on an island for thousands and thousands of years have never had sex.
Yeah, but you got to remember, like, being gay is not a choice. It's something that, is in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So if she...
if she wasn't attracted to...
But the thing is, if there's no men to be attracted to, then she wouldn't know otherwise.
Right.
So maybe she's not bisexual. Maybe she's straight, and she's just been with women for so long, she thought that was the only thing she could do.
Okay.
That is a possibility.
Dr. Steve chiming in.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know,
possible,
there is, it is possible that you like both, but you know, the likelihood of that, you know, there aren't like maybe what are the stats like
On bisexuals?
on bisexuality? Like
I
how
have
many
no
people
idea.
are out there that actually like consider themselves that? Like, are, you know, if it's something that maybe people just experiment in college and just realize, yeah, maybe that wasn't for me, but they consider themselves bisexual then, but now they consider them straight or gay or vice versa. Well, I said both of them, so vice versa wasn't necessary.
It's the things that come up and that are huge on the internet is just I don't know. I mean, first of all, like, do they have to? Well, I think they have to. Do they have to make an announcement? Yeah, because I think representation is important. I think people seeing people like them in the culture, in the literature that they read, in the movies, the TV shows that they watch, that's important. But do they not? They must realize the controversy that it's going to raise and the publicity that will come along with the controversy.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure
is that
DC
why-
wants that fucking to happen.
Right.
Because, like, okay, what has gone wrong for them recently?
Yeah.
How about the last two movies?
Yeah. You see the Ben Affleck and
Although I like watching Gotham, like
Yeah.
as hokey and lame as it
they
sometimes
apparently do
is.
all right with their TV shows. That's what I've heard.
But like I don't know. I did not see Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
I did not see Suicide Squad.
Yeah. No, they had, as with most of Hollywood, they had a shitty fucking summer. You know who didn't have a shitty fucking summer?
Marvel.
Jon Favreau.
Oh, fucking hell.
Disney didn't have a shitty summer. Jon Favreau. I did not know because it seemed like by the time I had a chance to get out to see this movie, The Jungle Book, it was gone. So I thought, oh, maybe it did shitty. But apparently it did really, really well. It did well enough, Steve, that they are going to have Jon Favreau direct a live-action version of
I'm not going to say it. You say it.
The Lion King. I was going to say Bambi. I was going to try to fuck with you and see if... Okay, a live-action version of The Lion King. So, how do you... Okay, so The Jungle Book, right? We had this conversation before the show, right? The Jungle Book has Mowgli. And Mowgli in The Jungle Book is played by...
A real person.
Like a real live wooden boy. No, a boy.
They should have Pinocchio live action. Oh wait, they did that with that guy, that
with,
Italian actor.
Yes, they did with that guy. I don't remember his name.
It was terrible. I don't know.
So The Lion King, by contrast to The Jungle Book, doesn't have any human characters. So are we talking like entirely CG created animals against a live action backdrop? Is that what we're talking about? I don't.
Maybe it'll be an entire society like that's on the back of a giant elephant.
Perhaps. Hold on.
Garchu.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like Jon Favreau's Iron Man movies. Both Iron Man and Iron Man 2. Fuck all of you. Iron Man 2 is good.
I was there people that didn't like Iron Man 2?
Apparently, people hate Iron Man 2. They think it's the worst of the movies, which is not true. Thor.
Yeah.
Thor: The Dark World. And,
Oh my God, I fell
and
asleep
Iron Man
during that
3.
one.
Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 3 are
Iron
the
Man
worst.
3 was pretty lousy, but it was still entertaining in parts. Like,
Yeah, they're absolute shit. After the Avengers, that was the year. Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World were that year after the Avengers came out, and they're shit. At any rate, I like Jon Favreau. I think I even liked.
they need James Gunn to come in and make some
back
trauma
in the day.
movies out of him.
What that is a better way to spend these last few minutes than anything else. What Disney property, like what Disney animated movie, because that seems to be their thing. They're doing Beauty and the Beast. They already did Cinderella.
You want to
They
do
did The Jungle
trauma
Book.
versions of these Disney
Not
properties?
necessarily trauma versions, but what Disney property would you put James Gunn on? Like, if you're Disney, you already have him for 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You have a good relationship with him. He's making you tons of fucking money.
Make it like fuck that. Just have him make another Toxic Avenger movie.
But that's not nearly as interesting to me as like Hey, James, you want to make fucking live action Snow White?
Like apparently, because what was it? The like the original Toxic Crusader. I think that was a great movie. But then the I think Toxie Goes to Tokyo. I think that was number 2, or like goes to Japan.
You know way more about this than I do.
You've never watched any trauma movies?
No,
Holy shit! We need to have a movie, like a trauma movie night. Like watch some Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, and some fucking other stuff. But like the third one, I forget what the third one was. But the fourth one was like Citizen Toxie, where he goes into an alternate dimension where he's like president or something like that, which is about to happen. Where we're gonna have like this weird mutant as the fucking president. But that's a great movie. Like there's lots of good trauma shit. Like if you are a younger person that's listening to this podcast and have never delved into the weird cinematic universe that is trauma, like fucking watch the Toxic Crusader and just like they had a fucking animated series. Like, do you remember that?
I don't remember that. I was looking up to see if I could find a list of their
trauma movies.
Trauma movies, but I have yet to find a sort of just a list. No, I did not see the animated.
I remember it being on like when your brother and I were, I think maybe around 8-9 years old.
Yeah.
But it was just really weird, and it was like, you know, Toxie was this you know, like good guy, but like if you would watch the original movie, he's like he's like this nerd guy that like is just pushed around. He works at a gym and he's just pushed around by all these guys, and then they end up throwing him out a window, and he lands into like a barrel of toxic waste and like mutates into this like super strong dude. Yeah. And then just like beats the shit out of them and kills them. Like there's no like ambiguity of whether these people are alive or dead. Like this, you know, the weights when you put the pin in.
Yes.
And it like you can do, you know, more weight by putting the pin in. Yeah. To a higher weight. Like, you know, when you pull the thing down and like the weights go up. Yes. Like he puts some guy's head into that and then lets go, and then the guy the weights just smash the guy's fucking face. Yeah. It's like a lot of trauma movies are very like, you know, like very B. They're B movies. They're gross out. There's a lot of like crazy shit like that. But it's also really fucking great. And you know, James Gunn was a director on those. No, I don't know, not for all of them, but like for some of the trauma movies.
He did some goddamn thing with porn, going back to the original, like he not with like porn stars or something, didn't he? Who? Didn't he have James Gunn? Didn't he have like
he might have had like
he had like a thing. I don't remember what it's called, and now I need to know. James Addiction. James Gunn. Give me his fucking history here. What about James Gunn doing Oliver and Company? It's got fucking animals galore.
Would you get Billy Joel to play?
Fuck yes. He's got I don't know. I think filmography. Tromeo and Juliet, Sergeant Kabuki Man.
He directed Sergeant Kabuki Man. Awesome.
Sorry, Sergeant. He was an actor.
He was an actor in Sergeant Kabuki Man.
His first directing gig looks to be the Tromaville Cafe. Let's see, Scooby, Lolly. James Gunn's PG Porn. I was not mistaken. James Gunn's PG Porn was a web series created by brothers James Gunn, Brian Gunn, and Sean Gunn. It consists of a series of pornography spoofs with a humorous event occurring just before the supposed commencement of pornographic sexual acts. Each episode pairs a mainstream actor with a pornographic actress or model. The tagline is, for people who love everything about porn except the sex. There were 8 episodes. I'm glad I am not imagining this. Episode 1 was Nailing Your Wife. There was Penis, like spelled like peanuts, except peanut. A Very Penis Christmas. Roadside Assistance. Squeal Happy Whores. Helpful Bus. High Poon, and Genital Hospital.
Well, that's something to go check out.
That is something to go check out.
That, you know, that's something that's I don't know. That's pretty funny.
Maybe he does Sleeping Beauty. You could do, no, I don't know.
What? Stop. Like,
I want to see a James Gunn Disney movie. What one could
besides like the ones that already exist as Marvel movies?
He could fucking fuck some shit up. It would be awesome.
I'd rather him go back and do another fucking trauma movie. I'm sorry
whatever.
about your fucking like.
You
watch Once Upon a Time and then.
Fuck you! Once Upon a Time. That fucking bullshit show.
I watched the first like 5 minutes of the new season opener, and it had like Jafar on a fucking magic carpet, and I'm like, I'm gonna go shit and take a shower.
Fucking Once Upon a Time. That my wife and my mom, they're the Once Upon a Time, and Kaylee to a lesser extent, they are the Once Upon a Time people in the house, and they still haven't watched last year's season finale. I've been trying to find a time for it all summer long, and they haven't. And now
I know it's really tough nowadays with so much media to consume.
So much media. I have to decide: am I going to? I've been binging on, not binging, binging as much as I binge on anything. I've been watching House of Cards, and I've got one season left. And do I want to finish House of Cards, or do I want to pause House of Cards because I just finished the next to last season that's available, and watch Luke Cage first? So I got a big decision to make.
You do,
Big
man.
decision. And I'll do that between now and the next episode.
Okay.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/114 for 114. And if you'd like to write to us, if you have not already paused the podcast to write to us about all the things we got right
and or wrong,
you can send that email to hot@clarkwoods.com.
Hey, and if you want to reach us via Twitter,
not reach around, but just reach.
Sure. If you want to,
Stormy's getting to me. I'm just kidding.
So yes, if you'd like to reach out, you can reach Chris at ECC1977,
and you can reach Steve. He's at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday is Loser, all one fucking word,
motherfucker.
Word.
Well, I'll give you the final word, Chris, because you're the best.